Yeah.
But I feel like that's where I peaked. Like that was my high school theater was my peak. So now I'm just trying to get back to that.
That's
Haven't had a role
awesome.
sit. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, guys? We're dreamers, we're moms, and welcome to the Mommy Artist Podcast. Now let's get creatively unhinged. Today's guest on the Mommy Artist Podcast is Kayla Capone Casper. She's a professional actor, singer, voice teacher, solo show queen, an emerging TikTok sensation, and she's doing it all while raising a tiny human. She recently played the role of Cinderella in Into the Woods and Marian in The Music Man. Kayla is very passionate about teaching her students that everyone has a unique sound that the world needs to hear. Kayla currently lives in central Pennsylvania with her husband and son, and she is proof that motherhood is not a curtain call. Please welcome Kayla to the Mommy Artist Podcast. Hi.
Hi.
Thank
Hi.
you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
me.
Of course. Thank you for taking the time. I saw you just got back from a little camping trip.
We
How was
did, and
that
it
with
was,
with the toddler in a tent?
yes, well, kind of. There may have been bears that were visiting us in the night, and we may have moved over to a motel at like 2
Oh,
a.m.
as one should and would. Oh my gosh.
No, my son was great though. He slept incredibly. I had pretty much zero expectations going into it because I was like,
Mhm.
you know what? This could be awful and we're just going to embrace it and it will be great
Right.
if we just have that
Right.
expectation. And he did really
Exactly.
well. Yeah.
Good. I think I found you on TikTok, but your videos are amazing. And not only because your voice is amazing, it's because the content and of course this podcast is exactly what some of your videos are about. And I just want to show first the video TikTok of you with your baby in the audition because
Mhm.
that is just incredible. And the focus that you hold. I mean, you don't know a lot about me. I grew up acting and in theater. And so just the focus that you hold while holding that baby is just incredible. And it just really, I was like, I have to have her on the show. So I was wondering
Oh,
if we could show it.
sure. Yeah.
My name is Kayla Capone Casper, and this is my audition with my baby because I cannot put him down right now. What do you call a man like that? Something from days gone by, a kind of a wind blown from the past. But where do you find it? From what time or place or fairy tale comes someone so ridiculous, so earnest, so strong? What do you call a man like this? How to describe his hands, so tense and so easy, so controlled but unpredictable, the tornado of his eyes shining bright.
That was incredible. Like literally. And I mean, take me through that, first of all, just because I could see it how you would have to do it. Because sometimes it's just easier to pick up the baby and just carry on. Because if you have something you have to do and your baby's needs you in the moment, there's nothing you can do. So,
Yeah. And watching it, I like remember exactly what was happening. It's crazy. How your nervous system responds.
yes.
Um, yeah, so I had to film this audition and I had my baby up with me. My husband works full time, so I'm
Hmm.
really a stay-at-home mom
Hmm.
currently. And so he's with me. I'm like, we're just gonna do it. He loves music. He loves it,
Of
which is
course.
not surprising.
Right.
But he was just like squealing the entire time. So
Hmm.
I could not get a tape. Like I
Hmm.
couldn't get one. And this was probably like try number 15. And I was like, you know
Right.
what? I'm just holding him. We're just doing it. We're going to go all the way through it and see what happens. Whatever. Um, I, and that was just it. And like, there was a point in it where he was starting to squirm around and I'm like, just keep going. just commit to it, stay
Right.
focused, and lock in.
Right.
And also, like, that character is a mom. She has older children, but she is a
Mhm.
mom. So I was like, you know
Mhm.
what? This isn't like totally out of line of
No.
something
She
that
would know how to
she
hold a
would.
baby.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then I was like, and I actually did submit it.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And quickly, can we talk about, like, so I went to the comment section and
Yeah.
what I mean, of course, TikTok, right? Like, we're going to
Yeah.
talk about that a little later too, because it's its whole own monster. But the way people were like, "Oh, you could have definitely put the baby down for 5 seconds," or like, "What?" I was flabbergasted. I did not, but it just goes to show people
Yes.
don't
Well,
understand.
like
They
you said,
probably aren't
no.
mothers.
Yeah. Whenever a video goes viral, it's like you know that there's going to be some hate incoming in some form. Like there will be something people find. And of
Exactly.
course, involving being a mom, moms are criticized about any and everything. So
Right.
there's going to be something. And normally I just ignore that stuff. But that one, I was like, I'm going to respond to this. And I did. And I actually made like a little compilation of clips of me for the past like over, maybe it was an hour and a half of trying
Good
to
for
film it
you.
and him just cry, like,
Right.
making sound. So, whatever.
I couldn't believe it, but because that's the exact opposite of how I feel and about how the listeners of Mommy Artists feel. And oh my gosh, you were just a true mommy artist. And I just thought that video was awesome. Today, what do you feel like your mommy to artist ratio has been?
It's so interesting because, like, that was, maybe he was, I don't even remember how old he was there, 5 to 8 months, somewhere
Hmm.
in that range. So that's
Hmm.
really, really early motherhood.
Okay.
I mean, obviously still figuring out the ropes, but now my son is turning 3
Okay.
in September. So I've got almost 3 years under my belt. And at first, in the early days too, I felt like I had to try so hard to like prove I can still do this. I am still an
Hmm.
artist. I was
Hmm.
trying so hard. Any and every audition I could. I tried to go back to teaching voice full time. Like I had a full studio. I tried to jump right back in. I did a show 2 months postpartum.
Hmm.
Um, and as I've settled into motherhood more,
Hmm.
that grip that I had, I feel, on needing to prove myself and everything
Hmm.
has loosened a lot. And I've just
Good.
allowed the space for it to happen. Um, and also that, we have this sort of timeline pumped into our head since we're children of like, you get an education and then you meet a partner and then you have the perfect job and then you have like whatever that's
Hmm.
there. So
Right.
like getting rid of that and just leaning into what this season is, which is just me being a mom.
Hmm.
And I feel like that is also a part of my artistry that like there's an art to motherhood.
Exactly. I feel the same way. And I think that was so well said. Like, I agree. My journey too was this very much like same, like, okay, go to school, kind of find a family, settle down, decide what you're gonna do, kind of thing. And as artists, because I have a film degree, but still I didn't think I was gonna move. I'm from Texas, so I didn't think I was gonna move to LA or New York. I just wasn't quite there yet. And so I was kind of like, what am I gonna do now with this degree? Um, but then I kind of put everything on hold. Like I graduated and then I stopped doing anything art related. And I just
I did that
put
too.
I put everything into find like I just kind of had a normal 9 to 5. And I don't know why. I just thought that just being creative wasn't something I was thinking about. And then I had my kids and it feels like now they're 6 and 8. And now it's like they both went to kindergarten and I just had this awakening, like, how can I do this? And I actually use therapy to help me, like, guide me to, be able to be creative again and, overcome imposter syndrome because as like a
Yeah.
performer who's not making any money or who hasn't been on stage in a while, like, am I an actress still if I haven't been on stage in 2 years? So I was overcoming all of this, and then I turned 40 this year. And so it's kind of like this culmination of like finding my art again, finding myself again. And most mommy artists I've talked to so far have gone through such a similar, it's like a universal experience that, and I thought I was all alone. Yeah, but you had the same thing where you kind of, tell me about that. Tell me about you graduating and then what you did after that a little bit.
I was the first in my family to go to college.
Wow. Congrats.
My mom was a stay-at-home mom,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't really want that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get an education and have a career. Um, and my family also were all athletes,
Okay.
so this was like very different for me to do.
No, this is a great
Um,
perspective.
and they really encouraged me to do education, to have something stable and something to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not want to do that. I just wanted to perform.
Right.
But I went for education and I hated it.
Oh.
Um, because so I'm in Pennsylvania, and like
Mm-hmm.
the way you get certified here would be to teach band and choir, like K through 12, and I just had zero interest in doing that. I like the idea of teaching, but I wanted it to be voice and like individual, maybe have a studio.
Okay, right.
I didn't want to just kind of like take whatever job I could get.
Right.
I we didn't come from money, so I had to kind of figure out how to get myself through college,
Mm-hmm.
having different like people co-sign loans with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then by my senior year, there was no one left to sign a loan.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a job with a nonprofit in Connecticut, and I left, did absolutely nothing with music whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back, mid 20s in a different place of life.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote actually like a 10-page petition to get back into college to finish my degree. But I finished, got my performance degree, and had a friend who got a job at a school, and she like basically like gave me her private studio, and I started teaching privately right out of college. Actually, I think I was teaching while I was finishing. This was crazy. I was working at Starbucks in the morning at like the 4 a.m. like opening shift, going to classes part time, and then teaching at the studio in the evening. And I was planning my wedding.
That is incredible. If you didn't,
It
I
was
didn't even
wild.
know any of this about you before, and I was already super impressed. So now you're my idol.
Thanks. That was a really crazy time. While we were engaged, I had a friend reach out to me about auditioning for a show, and I hadn't done any kind of theater, anything in a really long time, and certainly
Mm-hmm.
nothing outside of school. Had no idea that you need like a headshot resume, anything, or really even how to audition. Like
Are
it
you
didn't.
kidding me? Like, you're just so talented. And I was so like thinking that you've done this from the day you were born and you've been on stage and you like have never taken a break, and that you must have like even before I started this show, like I would have been so intimidated to talk to someone like you about theater at all. I feel like to other women listening, like, don't feel like, just share your story, and women are out there to help each other. That was a side note. Keep going. You didn't even know headshot
Yeah.
resume?
No, I had no idea. I mean, we could backtrack briefly.
Sure.
My grandmother, my granny, is really the one that instilled the love of music into me. Like I grew up watching movie musicals, The Sound of Music, West Side Story, loved it. That's what I wanted to be. And grew up going to church, so I was singing in church all the time, but didn't take voice lessons. I wasn't even cast in my high school shows. Like I was ensemble member number 4. So college was the first time I took a voice lesson ever. And I grew a lot in college. And then, yeah, right out, having a friend reach out to me about an audition, and I auditioned, and I was cast. And it was the musical Company, and it was a really fun role. It was the role of April. She's like a ditzy flight attendant. That kind of was like the catalyst of starting to venture into theater, which was really the thing that I always loved, but was sort of also afraid of like fully trying to dive into it. I was teaching at this little studio, and I was doing voice and piano. And then I started getting all of these like high school musical theater girls that were very good
Mm-hmm.
and sang in a way that I didn't really know how to, because I thought I was going to do opera actually. 'Cause I
Mm-hmm.
have a very like classical sounding voice, and I always wanted to sing like these like big Broadway voices, but I didn't know how to.
Mm-hmm.
But I was getting these girls, and I was like, I should probably learn how to do this if I'm going to be teaching them. So I
Right.
studied with a musical theater teacher, and I started working with these girls. Like I had one of my students, she won like the local high school theater awards here in
That's amazing.
Pennsylvania.
Oh my gosh. Side note, I had my professor over, he has been staying the last 2 days with me, and I was showing him your reels, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, she looks exactly like
Sorry,
the."
Nancy.
Yes! And I was like, "You're gonna die," because she does a solo show of her, and tell me about that. What idea came first?
It starts with COVID, actually. It starts with the
Okay.
pandemic. Spring of 2020, I was accepted to Boston Conservatory / Berkeley for my master's in musical theater vocal pedagogy. So I was going to go do
Wow.
that. And then that was March of 2020. So that was a no-go.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it all turned out great,
Right? Of
honestly. Like
course.
really, I mean, devastating at the time, but
Mhm.
I love the path that it turned into. So I was doing Zoom voice lessons,
Mhm.
and my students also kept telling me to join TikTok because they were like, "You could be a TikTok voice teacher. There's voice teachers on there, and you could do that." And I was like, "I don't want to do that,
I
really."
know, I know.
But I joined TikTok, and I did some like voice teachery thing. How did I connect with Laura? Oh my gosh, pandemic. I'm teaching so many high school theater kids. Also,
Mhm.
COVID happened right during musical season, so none of them got to perform in their high school
Mm.
musicals. It
Mm.
was like tech week, and
Devastating.
then
Yeah.
everything got
Mm.
shut down. So I was vocal directing a high school production, and yeah, we had to cancel it. So they were devastated. Laura Benanti posted something on her Instagram, I think, about asking students whose shows were canceled to send her their videos because she would give them a platform and she wanted to see
Wow.
them perform. So I sent like a bunch of my student stuff over to her. She shared them and posted them. Then at some point, she reached out to me and asked if I would sing in this concert series she was doing called um, Sunshine Songs.
I'm
So
sure you were like stoked. I
yes,
mean, that's amazing.
yeah, and that was a really beautiful thing that she did, where she brought these virtual concerts to nursing homes, to children's hospitals, places where people were just really isolated at that
Yes.
time and weren't
Mhm.
getting anything, lovely. We became connected through that, through Sunshine Songs. She introduced me to this organization called Sing for Your Seniors. And then one of my friends, through the growth of social media, reached out and was like, "Hey, do you want to do your own show?" I was like, "Okay, sure."
That's amazing.
And yeah, the idea just sort of came to me about constantly being compared to her and looking like her. And we do have a lot in common, which is really what a lot of the show is.
How did you even know how to write a show? I mean, what did you even like? The idea was like, okay, well, you want to do a one woman show, or were you ever like,
Mhm.
okay, this is going to be a play?
Yeah, so my best friend co-wrote it with me. He lives down the street, and actually we met doing Company, that first show that I ever
Oh,
did. Like
awesome.
he was the main guy, and that we met during that and have just been like bonded ever since. So we co-wrote it together, and it was just like sitting at my dining room table writing ideas of, like what this could be, and just also like writing out all of the things that were similar between us, or
Mhm.
like roles we've both played or stuff like that, and how can we make a show of this.
Mhm.
And then it was, what if I am auditioning to play her? So that's kind of what it turned into, and that's what the show was. It was basically like an audition where I brought headshot resumes and like handed them out throughout the room. My friend was on the mic in the back, like kind of
Mhm.
facilitating it as if it was an audition.
Did you enjoy the writing process and the creating process of the show?
Totally. I enjoy writing a lot, and I really enjoyed making the show too.
One of the things I saw when I was looking at your Instagram, it was like one of the things you don't subscribe to. You have to wait on someone else to cast you to make art. Yeah. And Hannah was
Mm-hmm.
like, it must be so hard as an actress when that is your art. And you can't really just like, it is cast dependent. Like someone has to cast you in a show. And then I was like, unless you make your own show,
Yes,
which you
exactly.
did. And this is what I'm doing too. And it's just like, luckily there's other avenues. And with TikTok, same, like it's a great platform to get yourself out there and for like, I don't know, I guess spreading your work as an actor, but also to have to keep up with it is another challenge.
I was like really into the strategy of it and posting at certain times and having the right kind of content.
Yes, that stuff.
All that stuff, behind the scenes stuff that if you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly.
And now I don't have the space for that at all because like you said, even when something goes viral and it's like a good thing, you get a thrill. That's like such a rush of cortisol too. That's like,
you're so right.
Overwhelming to the body. You know what I mean? And I already get that from motherhood. Like I don't need more stress. I don't need to add another stress on top of that.
Right. Another like anxiety. I'm going to ask about being pregnant and being on stage. Did you feel it affect your diaphragm?
For me, it was more so, I think the earlier time in pregnancy when there were like the massive hormonal shifts, I noticed my voice change. It got a lot huskier and a little bit richer. Toward the end of pregnancy, I noticed the difference in my breath for sure.
Well, I mean, hormones, my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not shocking. They're crazy. But yeah, I was wondering about your voice changing. And okay, so it got a little huskier. That makes sense.
Yeah,
because
actually,
I think mine
my
did too.
show, when I did my solo show, I was just coming out of the first trimester. So I was like 3 months pregnant-ish. And I feel like it's the worst I've ever sung. Like I felt horrible about the actual performance of it. Like the way I actually sounded. And I puked right before it, which that was the first time I had like morning sickness.
But I bet no one knew.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, because
I don't know.
Because moms are superheroes and pregnant people are superheroes, and it's just like we go on. I mean, the show goes on. That's super cliche, but geez, we do. And it sounds like through your life you've had the similar narrative, and you're just like an amazing. I'm just like so excited to meet you. Honestly, you're like an amazing, and you're so chill. You're just like, I don't know if you say you like have a lot of stressors, but I just feel like you're just so natural behind the camera and chill, and I just really appreciate you. Yeah, talking to me. Okay, do you have any advice for performing moms who maybe got pregnant unexpectedly and were just overwhelmed at the thought of, what to do next?
You just can't know. Take it for what it is. And also, I think a huge thing is to follow your instincts because they are so valid. Like a woman's intuition is a thing on its own. A mother's intuition is a whole another thing that is so real. And I think there were some things that I sort of ignored, like red flags I saw in productions or people that I got involved with. And I just wanted to push through and like I was saying, like prove myself. And I ended up being in some like not great situation. And if I had really like trusted my instincts, I could have avoided that. But now I'm so much choosier. I'm picky about who I surround myself with and the projects I choose to take on. And are they going to be fulfilling to me? Is it worth my time? Because my time is really valuable.
I love that. That was great. Thank you so much for that. Well, now I feel like that was so touching. Now I'm going to cut to the hot seat segment. Would you rather a standing ovation or 100 million views on TikTok?
Standing ovation.
Okay, Elphaba or Glinda to play?
I know, it's so hard. So here's the thing. I can't just answer this. My heart is an Elphaba, but I am physically and how I sound, I'm a Glinda.
I feel like I've had conversation with my best friend about who are we and what we want to be versus who we truly are.
Yeah.
So I totally get that. Okay, next question. What is your go-to bribe snack for your child?
Well, we just kind of wrapped up potty training, and
That requires lots of bribes.
yeah, he gets a lollipop every time he poops.
Perfect! I did the same thing. I think we did Skittles, actually. What's your dream role in a musical?
Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady.
I can totally see you as Eliza Doolittle. Would you try to survive a zombie apocalypse or just give it up?
I would try to survive.
Nice.
If I didn't have a child, maybe I would have given up. But
oh my gosh, so relatable and relevant to Mommy Artist podcast. Thank you for that. What's your most used emoji?
Probably a heart and like a crying, laughing one.
That's a popular one. Last question. Self-tape with a... I remember reading this question to Hannah yesterday, and she was like, this is the weirdest question ever. But I'm going to still ask it, but that's why I'm laughing. Self-tape with a newborn at feeding time or live audition, but the casting directors are all toddlers. I know. She's still looking at me like that's still a weird question. But you have to pick.
I mean, definitely the toddlers.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I fed my child like backstage while he was a newborn for stuff, and during auditions too. Like I was vocal
so you did
the
that.
Sound of Music, and I like literally had him on me. But a panel of toddlers sounds really funny.
Kayla, thank you so much. And I'm so excited to share this episode for advice for other moms who are artists who are still trying to make it all work and who are thrown obstacles and still overcome them, because your story is amazing. It's truly incredible. Yes. Kayla Capone Casper is the kind of artist that inspires me and the kind of mom I'd love to be friends with. Whether she's on stage, online, or behind a piano coaching a kid's big dream, she's walking the walk. Go follow her, book a lesson, or at the very least, warm up your damn voice. Thank you. Bye. All right, besties, my glass is empty, but my cup is full, and that means it's the end of the episode. Remember that you can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people and that everyone out there is trying their best. Love you. Bye. You can find the Mommy Artist podcast on YouTube to watch the full video. Give it a like, hit subscribe, and come back next week for more iconic chaos and creative magic. But no worries if not.